I created this look with the Anastasia and Alyssa Edwards palette. If you'd like to see how I created this look, keep watching. I have already done my brows off camera, and I carved out my brows with the Juvias Place concealer in number 12, but this is the Alyssa Edwards palette in collaboration with Anastasia Beverly Hills. It is a bright, colorful palette with only 3 shimmer shades. All the rest are matte. And I also have the Anastasia Beverly Hills primer as well. And this is the packaging, and in comparison to the P. Louise base, it is a little larger than the P. Louise base. And this is the other P. Louise base that came in her winter collection, and that P. Louise base is just a little bit larger than the Anastasia. So I opened up the eye primer and it squirted out everywhere, and the only way to stop it was to put the lid on, so I quickly put the lid back on, and it just was all over my hand, so I just dabbed it all over my eyes. And I am going to just screw that top back on so that I don't lose any product, and I'm just going to tap out the eye base with my P. Louise brush. And I also like to blend with my finger as well, and as you can see from my hands, that primer went everywhere, all over my hands. So diving into the Alyssa Edwards palette, I'm going to go in with this purple shade called Believe, and I'm just going to add that to the outer portion of my eye. And as you can see, that color is very, very pigmented. Next, I'm going to go in with this pink shade called Texas Made, and this is one of the shades in the palette, which is a pressed pigment, and I'm just going to add that to the inner portion of my transition area. And then back into the palette with this bright yellow shade called Brick Road. And I'm just going to add that just below my brow bone and blend it out, going back and forth with the yellow and the pink. So I'm just doing the same thing that I did to the other eye to this eye. Just adding the purple shade Believe, and then going in with the pink Texas Made, and then I will go in with the yellow shade called Brick Road on my brow bone. These colors are very pigmented, they blend effortlessly. I have almost all of Anastasia palettes, and this would be one of my new favorites. So now I'm going in with this blue shade called Dream It, and I'm using a angled brush, and I'm just going to use the blue shade as if I'm carving out my crease. So I'm just aligning that line, just drawing that line on. Next, I'm going back into the eye primer again, and I'm gonna hold it upside down this time and slowly take off the lid, and it's just oozing out as you can see. So I'm just gonna take my cut crease brush, and I'm going to add the primer onto my brush and carve out my lid and quickly screw the cap back on, or else it will just spill out everywhere. So now that the crease is cut, I'm going to go in with this matte white shade called Headliner, and just going to add that to the inner portion of my lid, and just packing that on to make sure I get a really good opacity. And then I'm going to go in with this mauvey shade called Unicorn Tribe and add that right next to the white, and go back and forth and blend that out. And then back again with the purple shade Believe, and I'm going to add that to the outer portion of my eye and blend the purple into the pink, as well as bring it down on my lower lash line. Next, I'm going to go back in the palette in this pink shade Texas Made again, and just blending out the purple with the pink. Next, I'm going to add this gold shade called Inspire, and this is the first shimmer shade that I'm going to add, and I just added that to my brow bone. Next, I'm going to go in with the Juvias Place foundation in Nairobi, and I've already primed my face with my Milk Hydrogrip primer, and I'm just adding a good amount of that foundation and just dotting it all over my face. Someone said in my recent video that I should add foundation all over my face. Everyone adds makeup the way that they choose to, but for the sake of that one lonely commenter, I'm going to go ahead and do that today and just blend the foundation all over. And this is a Morphe E6 brush, and I'm just using a definer brush just to make sure that my brows are carved out. And then going in with the Juvias Place concealer in number 12, I'm just going to add that under my eyes, and this is very close to my skin tone, so I will go in with a lighter concealer. And going in with the Born This Way concealer in the shade Sand, just adding a small bit of that to my under eye area and blending that out. Next, I'm going to set my under eye with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. And setting the rest of the foundation with my Jouer Hydrate and Set setting powder. And to contour, I'm using the Crayon K's Contoursition notebook, and I'm going in with the shade Briki to contour my nose. And I'm going in very lightly. I didn't want a strong contour. And to contour out my cheeks, I'll be using the shade Bobby. Even though this is a very dramatic look, I just wanted my face to look kind of soft. And I'm also using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Cocktail Party Blush Trio, and I'm using the shade Vegas, the first one in the palette. And for mascara, I'm using the Benefit Bad Gal Bang. Setting my face with the Anastasia Dewy Set Setting Mist. And next going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Highlighter in Sunset Aurora. And now that we have our big hair on, I am using the Fenty Stunna lip paint in the shade Unlocked. And to add the finishing touches to the look, I'm going back in with the shade Inspire and adding that to my inner tear duct. And that is it. That is the final look. I love this palette. It is super pigmented. Everything blended out effortlessly. I hope that you have enjoyed. Also like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video.